you know, but you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
but what if you?
I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you
like,
let?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money on.
See, I'm sorry.
It's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story, adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
You're now listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business-minded individuals and just people in general. I let my gut, and if I call it gut or God or whatever, I'm led by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's, taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned to play, this chess game, and life is not a chess game. Life is real, bones, flesh, blood, decisions.
Make sure you check out the Artist Exchange show every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, the sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good. They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals is they're like one of the worst teams in the Major League Baseball right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer have the top record. It belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland. We got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and they...
Hey, this is Mark, just a bit outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him.
You kidding? You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. It's me, your host, Mr. Nate Couser. It has been a minute, but I am back. Just been taking a little break. I'm doing some creative things, having some creative moments. I am here today, and just giving out some information where I'm at with some projects. So as an artist for the last year, I've decided to just remake myself. Not remake, I don't want to say remake, because at the core of who I am, I'm Nate Couser. But I've had to make some adjustments and really dig a little bit deeper into who I am and what I want and how I want it, and just itemize and take inventory of who I am and really what I want. And it's been very difficult, to say the least. It's been difficult to readjust and to the evaluation process has been difficult, because you don't realize how many mistakes you're making and how many bad habits that you are accumulating, and dealing with not only other people, other places, ideas that you may have, but with yourself. So for the last, I'll say the last year and a half, I've been going through some distancing myself from certain individuals, and it has nothing to do with that person. In some cases there are some issues there, so that's why that distance has been created in general, but I am not looking at what this person did. I'm looking at my reactions to what they did or what has happened between us, and just how I'm staying in that cycle. So I've been really distancing myself and really taking moments to be with myself and create some boundaries, create some standards, eliminate expectations that I have for others, and develop some processes to dealing with issues, coming face to face with issues, and kind of eliminating issues, if you will. I'm a really open-minded person. I'm always giving of myself and my time, and I find myself in the same situations over and over again. Just the last month, I found myself in a situation that I've complained about several times, that I've had to deal with several times, and I handled it a little bit differently this time. I stayed stuck to my word. Whenever I put my name on something, I try my best to see it through, unless circumstances just don't equal up to it being finished or continued. But I faced the problem head on. I didn't complain. You know, I made sure that I had somebody that I could be a sounding board, for me, a shoulder that I was leaning on. And in my friendships, that's a requirement now. You know, if you could come to me, I have to be able to come to you, or that friendship is now going to be an association or a business situation. I'm no longer going to keep people around me who can't lift me up like I lift them up. And I'm not looking for the equal force, but I'm looking for somebody who can at least be, you know, expectations aside, I'm really happy with the people that I'm starting to surround myself around, and the people who I've been around. But even with some of them, I've learned to have a distance, be separate from, and not just for the sake of I think I'm better than this people. I don't want people bringing me down, but I don't want to be around people who expel negativity. And the moment I see it, I'm gonna call you on it, and if you don't improve it, we just gonna have to separate. And those are things that I've learned. I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Is what it is. Radio show.
Go ahead. All right, listen. All right, say situation. Because I keep telling y'all, it's different situations in the child support thing. You can't just pinpoint one thing. You can't just say, oh, here did be. That's why you're on child support. Oh, he this. That's why you're on child support. Oh, she this. That's why she on child support. No. Sometimes it could just go off of, oh, I just called him and asked him, can he pay for the pictures? He ain't want to pay for the pictures. I'm taking his ass downtown. Yup.
Well, you got to know. Know who you dating.
Hold up.
You just like
I just called her and asked, could she just get Junior some shoes? She couldn't even get him no church shoes. I'm taking her ass downtown. Now, when you go downtown, you go down there and you get $500. Right? Now you mad because you getting $500, and now you really ain't getting no shoes for Junior or Lord CC because you getting $500 now. Right?
Yeah, but you gotta remember, if you're a good father or good mother, and you paying child support, right? You still gonna go ahead and do all that because
hold up.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, hold on, and that's another situation.
Right.
But you know what that creates? Now when we at the party, mommy and daddy ain't even down there speaking to each other. Cause daddy done paid for the party, and he done came out of pocket this month with $600.
Right, that's your child.
Be mad. Listen. He shouldn't be mad, but he also has another child with his wife.
That's on him.
Okay,
go ahead.
He got another child with his wife.
Okay.
Right. And you're taking away from him. And they taking away from
Well, he should have kept it in his pants.
Exactly.
Should have kept it in his pants. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. Stop complaining.
You on some whole, he on some whole other shit over here. He on some whole other shit. I'm gonna tell you.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks.
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange.
Artists Exchange Live.
The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange.
Starts now.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Artists Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Nate Couser. I am here live at the station, and before we went to break, I was just talking about some things that I had been kind of starting the process, and it was about a year and a half ago, and I just felt like a lot of stuff prior to that moment that I had was just, stuff was just going just all over the place, and I wasn't really happy with where I was and what I wanted and what I was getting. And it all came like midsummer 2017, and I just was in my feelings a lot. I'm not a person that is super sensitive to stuff. I normally go from 1 to 1,000, that's it. But in dealing with a lot of this, I had to really just clean out some things. And it took me like the rest of that year to begin to really clean stuff out. And a lot of stuff, sometimes you have to be faced with it again for you to see that that is a problem in your life. And I really had to go through some seeing what the problem was and really adjusting what my needs were for me to be able to get back to who I was. And I didn't really see myself the same anymore. I didn't see who I was and what I wanted the same anymore. I didn't see it, and that became a problem for me because I didn't really know what to eliminate, what to get rid of, what to kind of fix, improve on, focus on, and I was all over the place. So for the rest of that year, I just began to like randomly take notes and journal, and I eliminated adding new stuff, and I stuck to what was there, and I was on the verge of making some decisions that were for the moment and wasn't really for my long term, and I didn't want to make those mistakes again. Whenever I was under pressure or going through something, I always eliminated the right now. Well, I always eliminated tomorrow, and I would focus on just right now. So I would add new stuff to try to distract me or get my mind off of things, and I didn't do that this time. One of the things that I did was I took inventory. So in closing out 2018 for this year, I'm doing it again. I'm taking inventory of 2018 and not necessarily the past, because a lot of things I've let go and I forgave, but just patterns, and just taking inventory for 2018 and making sure and seeing if any of those patterns came back in this year. And some of them did. And one of them was the idea of being a working artist and knowing your value and knowing your worth. I had a couple situations this year where individuals did not respect my worth because they wanted what they wanted. And in them doing that, I found myself having to cancel things and not follow through with things because I had not prepared myself to move on without this person. I have a bad habit of putting all my eggs in one basket, or relying on someone to do what it is that they say they're going to do. I do that, and I've learned that I do that because I often do that. I often follow through. I always follow through what I say I'm going to do for you, but I often neglect the things that I say I'm going to do for myself. So in me taking inventory, I looked over, and that was a consistent issue for me. It wasn't always a problem, but it was always a constant, whether it turned out good or turned out bad or was in a gray area. But I really found a focus in moving forward and eliminating that pattern that wasn't necessarily too good for me. So my process of taking inventory has been realizing what I have, realizing what I want, and then doing the work to know the difference, and not carrying things that I don't need to be carrying, lightening my load. Subsequently, I have a bad habit. I don't want to keep calling them bad habits, but I have a habit of carrying a bag with me everywhere I go. And a few times this year, actually a lot more than what I would normally do because I purposely didn't do it, I would walk out the house without a bag, without a backpack or my messenger bag or what have you. And I realized how much freer I felt without the luggage, without the add-ons. Deanna Catledge, I'm sorry. Love the subject. I would love to talk to you about being a guest on your show. Of course, email me, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook, Instagram. I'm open to it. My information is included, so definitely send me a message and we can work on that. Let me know who you are, what your specialties are, and I'll be gladly invite you on to the show. But back to taking inventory, it is very important that we see who we are and see what we have, see what we don't have, because often we complain about support, we complain about the things that we don't have, and normally that boils down to I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough support. But if we refocused our energy and realized what it is that we do have, we would be so much further along than what we have. Deanna says spiritual baggage starts from childhood and people carry it without even knowing it. And often I'm carrying things in those bags that don't even belong to me, that were passed down to me or I took from other people. You know, and we carry things in that bag, and once you open up that bag, that mental bag, that spiritual bag, that physical bag, you'll realize there are things in there that don't even belong to me, things I don't need, things that I shouldn't even have carried with me. I don't even need this. I don't even know when I bought this or when I put this in here or when I took on this stress. So spiritual baggage and knowing what that is definitely an issue that I see prevalent in our communities and in myself. And all of this awareness that I've been getting, I've been working on myself. It's so easy for me to help other people with these things, but I found it very difficult to really look at myself and really put myself in the shoes of the person that I'm helping. I'm really a big person on figuring out and finding out what's important for me and what I need and how I need it and why I need it and where I need, like all those things. I'm all for it. I'm ready for it. And I just want to do better for me. You know, I've been in a selfish period before that was necessary, and I think I needed to get back to this one because I can't give you, if my cup is empty, what can I give you? I'm personally running off of fumes, and what I managed to scrape out of that cup to give you is not even worth what you need. But people will continue to take from you, so you have to set that boundary and say no, enough is enough. I was recently in a production. If nobody knows, I am an actor, and I love acting, I love theater, I love being on stage, I love being in rehearsal, I love the process of being an artist in general. And I put myself in another situation where my value wasn't respected, and my intelligence wasn't respected, and my time and my energy was not respected. And I found myself challenging myself despite that disrespect that I was receiving, despite that challenge that I was being given, all of that happening, and I'm not being my total self. So if you're just tuning in, this is the Artist Exchange Radio Show. I'm your host, Nate Couser. Today's topic matter is doing the work for you. And I am ready. I'm ready to address some things. If you want to message, talk, if you want to join in the conversation, you're definitely open to. But this year, for 2018, has been a year of awakening. It's been so much going on, so much outside things, and I've had a good balance of staying aware of things that are going on around me and within me. And this inventory, this first topic that I want to say in terms of taking inventory, was really significant in me being where I'm at right now, where despite what is going on, I'm able to seek joy. And it's not often that you're going through life and hardship and struggle and you still can choose to be happy. Choosing to be happy is one of the strongest tools that we can have as individuals, and it really allows us to be our best selves despite the storm, despite the struggle, despite whatever hardship you may be in. And I'm really here to tell you, choosing your happiness, choosing joy for yourself, choosing yourself often over other people will not only help you in a long run, but it will make you a stronger, more aware, more productive and more successful individual. Some people go overboard where they only focus on themselves, and their arrogance becomes, you know, the face that they show to people. But this year I really took that inventory, and I realized the things about myself that I didn't like, the things about myself that I wanted to change, the things about myself that I wanted to work on and strengthen and make stronger, the things that I wanted to no longer be a part of my existence, that I wanted to totally sever. And I went through all of these things, but I also saw the things about myself that I really respected. The fact that I worked so hard, the fact that if I start with you, I'm gonna finish with you, the fact that if we riding in a limousine or on a bus, I'm by your side. Those things are things that I love about myself. But then the karma comes in when you aren't giving that back in return. I had friendships, or what I thought were friendships, that were very one-sided. And often I've had to call them out. There were family relationships that I had, business, work, and reliance. And I had to if I just simply spoke up for myself, if I simply just put it out there the way I needed it to be put out there, it would have been okay. But I often was like, oh, I don't want to hurt nobody else's feelings, not worrying about my own feelings. But I'll say to you, now is the time that we have to look at who we are and what we are, and really put forth a better effort to being our best selves, and really seeking the best out of life, and really giving ourselves an opportunity and a chance to really grow and really mature and really just put forth our best effort. The next one on the list, so inventory is necessary. Going through your life and really seeing the things that, because in doing the inventory, you'll see where the holes are. You'll see where the opportunities for growth are. You'll see the opportunities to change, to grow, to mature, to move on from, to sever ties from, to embark on. You'll see everything once you start taking inventory, because you'll see what you have. Just like like if you have a business and you take an inventory, but you find yourself you going through inventory and you have 5 of the same thing, and you don't need 5 of the same thing, you know, because you've been buying the same thing over and over and over again, because you're not realizing what you already have. We spend a lot of time complaining about the things that we don't have, amen, because we haven't taken inventory and stock in who we are, and realizing I don't need all these people to be able to fulfill my dreams. All I need really is me, a strong version of myself, to be able to get through this. Now, having other people on your team, say, you know, right now I'm rebuilding my radio show team. You know, I'm looking for an engineer, I'm looking for a technical person, I'm looking for somebody that can be out in the field with me, a new co-host. So as I build these things, I'm able to do all these things myself, and I'm able to sufficiently make them look good and make it go across well. But it would be so much better, so much easier, so much smoother if I had a strong team around me. So as I build that team, I'm not afraid to then, you know, eliminate things. You know, I can blame this person for doing X, Y, Z in the past, but when I look at those 3 fingers pointing back at myself, what fault did I have in it? You know, what part of me didn't I have? You know, what part of me didn't I do what I was supposed to do? At what point did I check out? Because I realized this is bull crap. So taking inventory is very important. All these topics today for the next, for the rest of this year, I'm going to be taking a moment to just go and maybe do some personal lives or personal blog entry on them, and kind of dig a little bit deeper as we get into the end of November this week and then going into December. So yeah, so the next one is this positive thinking. Now, I've read a post, and the question, I believe, was, is there a such thing as being too nice? And this young lady, she made a comment that you can be very kind, but you shouldn't be too nice. And I thought that was such a broken response. And I felt like we are so broken as individuals that being too nice is a thing. Being too kind, being too open, being too loving is a thing. That's creepy when you're too nice. What you want? You know, that's the mentality behind making a statement like that. Because somebody who is too nice, they gotta be doing something wrong. Their intentions are too off. We've come to a point where we're so broken as individuals that we can't even be nice to each other. We can't even go beyond the call of duty and be nice to each other, because it got to be something wrong with that person. That person got to be weak for being too nice. And so the second topic is this positive thinking. Those individuals around you, don't spend your life trying to change them or change their perception or change their mentality, because like Deanna mentioned earlier, it's baggage that we've taken with us, and often from childhood. You know, so if our parents were pessimists, if our parents were negative thinkers, if our family and our friend circles are negative thinkers, then we'll eventually become that. You are who you surround yourself with. You know, and it's that thing of, I don't ever push anybody away. I do take people out of my life, but I'm not too good to hang out with somebody who may not be smarter than I am or may not have the same talent I am. I'm not that egotistical. But I think we have to all put ourselves in a space where we're able to grow. We're able to be being a positive thinker boils down to choosing to be happy. And there's so many instances where we can be negative and we can put that negativity out there, and we can live off of it and thrive off of it. And it's so unfortunate that we are that people. We are that people. And we really have to get ourselves to a point where we are thinking back and thinking over, I don't know how to say it, but we have to put ourselves in a space where we can be positive. I may not like you, we may not be able to deal with each other, but if I choose to be happy, I won't even focus on not liking you. It won't even be a concept of me not liking you or not being able to deal with you. It'll be mainly about you facing forward, because you won't even see that bad relationship. You won't even see it. You won't even make yourself a part of it. Deanna also says you train people how to treat you. I say that all the time. And every time I've said that, I've had to eliminate somebody else from my circle or from my space, because they said people often look at that phrase, Deanna, and they say to themselves, in training people how to treat me, I am forcing somebody to do what it is that I want them to do. You have a choice whether or not you want to be around me. You have that choice, just like I have the choice to be around other people and other things and in certain places. But training people how to treat you, one, entails you showing up as yourself. We often send the representative. We call it sending out the representative. When we're on dates or when we go into new business situations or new work environments or new friendship relationships, we send out our representative. So we're always our best self. We're dressed sharp, we smell good, all those things. We say the right things, but as we get comfortable and often as we start start to really become aware of ourselves and comfortable with ourselves, our real true nature comes out. The real true Nate comes out. And I have to admit that I have often not been my best representative because I often sent out another Nate. I sent out this Nate that could take these certain things, and then you can't take those things like you used to. As you get older and a little bit wiser, you learn not to hold on to certain things the way you used to. And I wanna be a different person. I wanna be a better person. I wanna be all that I can be, and I'm just learning how to be my strongest self first and foremost. So training people how to treat you often forces you to be as real as possible. And I've been having some real conversations with friends lately that I don't normally have, and I normally choose to keep them, keep those opinions to myself, but I'm being forced to be honest and be open and be aware and be just be bluntly honest. You can be as blunt as possible without being disrespectful, because it's still a level of respect in being honest. You don't seek to hurt anybody, but you can't salvage, or I won't say salvage. You can't spare anybody's fake feelings, because that's a fake feeling that person is having when they're offended by the truth or offended by your honesty, whether they asked you or not. I have to tell you when something is affecting me as a friend. You know, you're not gonna call me up and complain about XYZ when I'm the person that's there for you, and you're not gonna give that to me because you're not giving that to the rest of the world. You know, so positive thinking. Keep yourself in tune and in line with the things that you want out of life and who you want to be and who you are. Ultimately who you are, because who you want to be is who you already, that's who you are. The journey is being successful at it and making a return from it and allowing yourself to grow in it and mature in it and blossom as that thing. You know, a seed is a flower, but it has to start as a seed first, and it has to be tended and nurtured, and growth has to happen. So positive thinking starts with 1, showing up as yourself. 2, choosing happiness no matter what. It's very difficult. It can be strenuous, it can be hard, it can be all those things, but being true to yourself, being honest with yourself, being aware of yourself at all times, choosing to be happy. It's not always an easy decision. Sometimes it's harder to choose happiness than it is to wallow in that depression or that pity party. It's easy to have a pity party. A pity party is the easiest thing you could ever create. But choosing to be happy often takes work. It takes practice. It takes consistency, because it's a constant decision that you have to make. Being positive takes a constant decision within yourself. We have a couple more minutes in this segment before we go to break. I want to throw a question out there to anybody that's listening. What has been the hardest habit for you to break? What has been the hardest habit for you to break, and why has it been so hard for you to break that habit? I'll touch mine and then I'll go back into it when we come back. My hardest habit is, I would say, showing up as myself, 1, and showing my value. Not always being a helper bee, not always falling to the back, but standing up for the things that I need and I want out of life. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with me, Nate. Today's topic is doing the work for you.
Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause, I want money, let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like,
The Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early into the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text.
We're rewarding you for something you already do. Listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back.
I have found a lot of peace and I can't see what it is. But I would say I'm in a better place now. And I have to say, I don't really go through depression like you would normally hear. I spend a day in the house and I come out the next day and I'm good. I don't swallow in it. And I'm not saying that like I'm better than, but I've chosen to be happy. And I have a lot of people around me who have not made that decision yet, who I've had to eliminate from my space. So the first point was just taking inventory. So going through the list of things that you like about yourself, that you don't like, that you want to change, that you want to keep, that you want to strengthen, that you want to add a little, sauce on, that you want to, just sit to the side and come back, take an inventory. So we'll stop complaining about, I don't have this, nobody's helping me do this, I'm not, when you see what you have on hand before you ask somebody for something else, before you make complaints about what somebody isn't doing for you. Look at those things you're not doing for yourself. That's a part of your inventory process. It's not just adding up how many shoes you got or how many friends you got or how many likes you get. All that don't even matter, and it shouldn't even be a part of your inventory. But take stock in the talents you have, the gifts you have. So even within those talents, what do I need to work on? What's strong? What can I put out front to gain me the experience and the integrity in the business that I need to make these other things possible while I'm still learning these things over here. You know, what gifts and talents you have, knowing the difference between a gift and a talent. If you have a gift for something, it ain't necessarily something you need to make a living at. Those are things that you have been given to give to others. They aren't for you. Gifts aren't for you. The feeling you get from giving your gift away and sharing your gift with people is what warms your heart. I've started to realize what my gifts and my talents are. My talents, I'm getting paid for them. That's something I work towards and I prepared myself for. My gifts are things that I do. I'm an open person. I'm a helpful person. Now learning to gauge them so you're not just giving them all away is significant in your growth process, because we often give things away without even seeing it. You ever like take something to the Salvation Army and realize you put your good sweater in there, and then when you cold and you need it, you don't have it. And not that you can't get it back, but damn, if I'd have paid attention to what I was putting in that bag to give away, I wouldn't have gave away something that I needed. But that needs to be applied to your life also. You know, in our pursuits to grow and learn and achieve, we have to first realize what we have and how we're supposed to give it out. I see a lot of people selling their gifts to the highest bidder, or getting whatever little bit of change on the other side of that extreme to whomever want to buy it. And that's a gift that you have. You know, we have to learn that difference. So taking that inventory, your gifts, your talents, you know, the things that you have on hand, the things that come natural to you, the things that you still need to work on, everything on that inventory list ain't gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be, you know, the best. You know, some of those things on that list, most of, if not most of them, have to be worked on, have to, you know, be eliminated, and maybe it'll come back in another form, you know, but doing that inventory. Second on that list was positive thinking. You know, choosing to be positive, choosing to be happy is often harder than being mean and negative. I'll give you a opposite of that. I was around a lot of people who did not make that choice to be positive, and I got called negative a lot because I wasn't willing to put up with other people's BS. And I'm not. Like, I'm not. I've had to learn how to say things. I've had to learn how to make that decision that I'm not going to put up with anybody. I had to learn how to address people. I had to learn these things. But what I did not have to learn is that I did not have to put up with, nor do I have to endure somebody else's BS. I got called negative a lot and difficult because I wasn't willing to accept what people were giving to me. No, I don't have to accept that. And that's a part of one of the listeners today. Deanna said you have to train people how to treat you. Most people get used to treating other people like garbage because that person doesn't speak up, and that person will continue to always be there for you. But what happens when that person leaves? You may find success because maybe your relationship was toxic to each other. Me not calling you out was probably leaving you comfortable. So us separating probably allowed you the ability to be able to see that in yourself and then grow. I wish everybody around me success. I don't care who you are, but I don't have to deal with you personally. I can pray for you and be supportive from afar. I don't have to deal with that up close and personal anymore. What time is it? So the next thing that I wanted to touch on was entrepreneurship. And being an entrepreneur, you have to understand, one, who you are, because it will eliminate a lot of problems. And knowing who you are isn't always going to be easy. And you're not going to necessarily know who you are right off the bat. You're not going to always know what you want right off the bat. Often it's going to be a strain and very difficult to to get to who you are, because often we've been somebody else for so long. We've showed up as our representative even to ourselves, and you have to often get to that. Hey Ernest, hey Aaron. So today's topic is doing the work for yourself, and these are a number of things. The things that I'm going over are a number of things that I am for the last year and a half I've been dealing with and I'm going through the motion of just making myself the best me possible. I left a message the other day on my Facebook page, and it basically said, I'm a hardworking, creative person, and I deserve the best. And me saying that to myself, that's not something that I've said before out loud. It's not something that I've put out there in a personal way, and in a public way, I'll say. But I had to acknowledge just how talented I was, how gifted I am, how loving I am, how open and compassionate I am. And I've heard other people say it, but I had to believe it from the inside out for it to really be true. And I've really wanted to make myself accountable for who I wanted to be and who I am, and matching those things up and kind of creating as much balance as I can with it. It has been very difficult for me to just move forward, and I felt stuck for some reasons that I really couldn't really explain, but I really felt stuck in some decisions that I was making. I felt it felt really difficult and really different. It felt different. It felt different, being this person who always chose to be happy. Because sometimes I didn't mind being a little ugly out there. I didn't mind being that, because that often, if you're from Baltimore, cities like Baltimore, that's a protection that we've learned to have within ourselves, and it's not always the best choice for us. It's not always the best decision for us to make, and always trying to be the strong one, and always trying to be the tough one. Learning that I can have levels to this and levels to who I am. So the third point that I brought up was kind of totally opposite of the first two, and it was this entrepreneurship. As an entrepreneur, what is it that you want? What is it that you're selling? What is it that you want to get? Who are you talking to? All these things need to be answered before you can really call yourself an entrepreneur. But many of us, because we got a Facebook page, that means we ready. We ready for this. And that's okay, but just know that there's a lot more to becoming a business owner than just registering your business. And you have to learn how to have those things in order and in line and decency in order for you to really grow in it and really be all that you want to be in it. And what I'm seeing, and a lot of this is me examining myself, but what I'm seeing as an entrepreneur is just a lack of self-awareness. Most of us are really talented in the things that we want. We want to give, we want to sell, what our businesses are. Often we're talented in those things, or at least we know the business side if we don't know the creative side, speaking as an artist, of course. But I've noticed that a lot of us don't know who we are. That's the thing that we're missing. So we make personal relationships. We make personal choices in our relationships that aren't always the best choices, that aren't always the best decisions for us, because we don't know what we're doing, and we learn these things by habit and by nature. And I'm coming out a lot of it, and I really am happy with where I'm at with this entrepreneurship. I don't know, I just want to be different. I want to learn the business, and I've been learning, but I've been jumping out there a little bit more than normal, and without any hesitation. I'll say that. and that's been really difficult to do. It's been very difficult to it's just been difficult. It's been difficult, to say the least. Yeah. So I wanted to ask some questions today, and that one first question was, what are some of those things that you find difficulty getting through, or those bad habits that you have, and why is it a bad habit? And taking it a step further, what are some of the things that you're doing to get through some of those bad habits? Like, what are some of those things that you're doing to break through and break away from, and creating better habits for yourself, and breaking yourself out of those habits that are detrimental to us? I want to take a quick break from the conversation and just touch on some things that are happening. Just this Wednesday from 6:30 to 9:30, I'll be at the Peel Center co-hosting the annual fundraiser for the Peel Center alongside the phenomenal Aaron Hinkle. Him and I will be hosting that event, and we'll be showcasing a number of talented individuals that have showcased their work in terms of storytelling in various different ways at the Peel Center. So definitely stop on by the Peel Center. It's $55, but with it you get dinner. There's a cash bar, a number of events going on at the same time, so you'll get to see kind of a cross section of what the Peel Center is and what it has to offer to individuals in this community. It's really a community-based museum, and that is not just art on a wall or white faces on a wall, but it's definitely a space for everybody to be able to come through and just be themselves and be a part of what's happening, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. So this Wednesday coming up, come on down, come on through 225 Holiday Street. If you know where the farmers market is, or where the municipal building for the city is, or City Hall is, it's right there on Holiday Street, right diagonal from City Hall, actually, in the middle of that block. So come on by. A lot of entertainment, some immersive art productions, some presentations, some storytelling. You can buy some gifts and do some early Christmas shopping, or last minute, depending on who you are. But come on by, join myself, Aaron Hinkle, Nancy Proctor, Immersive Theater Company, David London, a number of individuals that do a lot of work with that center, and come on by. What else is coming up? I just finished a production at Arena Playhouse. I'll be talking about that in the next segment, so stay tuned for that. What else do I have coming up? I'm working on jewelry again, so you can definitely purchase some jewelry if you want to do a jewelry party for the holiday season or for the new year. Definitely hit me up for that. Businesses, individuals, artists, entrepreneurs, community leaders, if you're looking for a platform to come on and share your story, engage with an audience, and really just share who you are, and just talk. Tell us what's on your mind. Hit me up, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. I'm here for it. I'm ready. And yeah, that's where I'm at today. I'm really feeling a little like drained. Not for anything in particular, but just I've been moving a lot. I've been realizing just where I am and what I want and how I am lately. And this entrepreneur thing is difficult because it's a constant. It is a constant, and you have to always be on. It feels like you always have to be on. And you have to really figure out what you want from it, and how you want it to manifest itself, and how you want to kind of absorb the stress of it. Like, it's all of it is your choice, inevitably, but you really have to just know what you want. It's difficult, and going into any situation not knowing what you want, and really allowing yourself to be overworked and stressed. It's not good. It's not good at all. And you really have to really focus on what it is that you want, and not being afraid to move forward with it, and really give your all to it. I'm really at a really happy spot in my life where I really know what it is that I want. And it's been difficult trying to achieve everything. Like, everything that I desire, I feel like I can achieve, but just learning the difference between just learning who you are, I think, has been the most difficult part for me, and really understanding who I am in comparison to what I've been and what I want, and just knowing the difference between being an entrepreneur and just being busy. You know, really understanding what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is not just getting sales or selling your work or having business cards or always having an up-to-date page on whatever, but really understanding that you are your business, and you have to always be on point with representing your business and understanding your business, and just allowing yourself to grow and learn. Many people who start businesses, they are really negative people because they feel like they have all the answers, because you got a little piece of paper from the state or the city saying you own this. And I really have acknowledged all that I have been lacking in, and I no longer try to be this busy, you know, and doing all these things, and like, I've really focused on being my best self, and I didn't know what that meant. I never knew what that meant, but now that I do know, I'm not afraid to be like my best self. I'm not afraid at all to like live in that and really be that. I'm not afraid of that at all, and I'm learning how to just live my best life and have fun. And I'm gonna go real quick to a post that I found on Will Smith's page, and he was going through some steps to I'm trying to pull it up now, but his rules for success. And I'm not like a person that hinges on the words of people who are successful, because there's a learning curve. They've already went through a lot of this, so it's easy for them to speak from a place of hindsight. It always sounds perfect, but you have to fix it to really what it means for you. We have 2 more minutes left, so I'm going to go through the list. He says, the rules for success. First, you have to be focused. And that kind of goes into my first 2 points that I made today. You gotta know what it is that you want. And beyond knowing what you want, you have to really be at a space where you're focusing on that thing. And that's not speaking on tunnel vision, but you have to always be focused. So all the parties that you go to, all the people that you meet, everybody can be a possible client or a possible partner or a possible whatever, supporter. You have to carry, I often find myself carrying myself, and I've had to learn how to separate Nate Couser from the Artist Exchange, from VashtiBlue Jewelry, from all the businesses that I do. I had to learn how to separate myself, my name, not only myself, but my name from it. So I know I'm focused on that. and I'm not just focused on the success. He says, then improve yourself. And improving yourself is a constant thing, because as you get older, you learn new things and you grow from that. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. And then stay tuned, stay locked in. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. So, what are the two things I said? Jim Acosta. Ooh. Acosta, both of him. The president's so damn stank. Let me tell you something. Just because, listen,
it's funny, Cheryl,
but he's so petty. It's so petty. Said it, CNN, you messing with this dude. CNN came out with a good statement to back him up. According to Black
like that.
There's the flowers in the way. The flowers is in the way.
The flowers.
That's why I can't see you.
Which we never really talked about. The flowers.
You never will. We never will. I believe I'm getting my mind blown, ladies and gentlemen.
Somebody really
so
likes
that's why I'm not.
Underwood.
No, somebody's really trying to utilize Cheryl Underwood for something, and they know I love flowers.
Oh, okay.
See,
there you go. Either that's how it works or that's how you see it.
That's right, and that's how I saw it.
Okay.
That's right, I saw it. Somebody needs something from me, and so they gonna blow my mind.
I got you.
What's the song called?
Didn't it blow your mind this time?
Didn't I?
That harmony, man. That's pretty good.
That's it. Speaking of a mind-blowing decision, so President Trump, after the Democrats take control of the House in the midterm elections, shout out Maxine Waters, get that financial.
Okay.
Yeah, get that financial. And then, Jeff Sessions.
Yep.
Did you say the possum? Possum loses his job.
Henry Gibson. Let Henry go. Yeah, they let him go too.
So and then the big dude, the football player with the bald head, the Matthew
guy.
Oh, Hillary should have been indicted. What he was doing was auditioning for the job.
That's what he was too.
He was kissing up to President Trump. Then President Trump just wilding out at the press conference, I think he was flagrant with the disrespect of the black female reporters. I didn't like that. You better get off April Ryan. You better get off her now.
That's who that was.
Yeah, April Ryan. Yeah, you better get off her. Now we love her. We love them all. The girl from PBS with a nice twist. We love her.
Yeah, he shut everybody down.
But I just think he was flagrant with the black people. I don't know. Maybe I'm sensitive to this. And then Acosta, old girl was walking up on him trying to snatch the mic.
He wouldn't have it.
Ma'am.
She was bold, boy. She was bold.
Yeah,
she was too.
Yeah, and then they don't try to say he
tried to blame it on
Marla Hooch.
Yeah, Marla tried to blame it on Acosta like he's getting physical with
right. He didn't even touch that girl. He was like, hey, bag.
Give me
50. And she was tripping.
Yeah.
But the president looked unhinged.
And he had the nerve to tell Acosta, like, you are so disrespectful. And it's like, that's a pot calling the kettle black.
Technically, he should have gave up the mic.
That's the Cheeto calling the Cheeto.
There you go.
Orange.
He is orange too.
All right. What were you saying, Jim?
I said technically Acosta should have gave up the mic.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Mr. Nate Couser. I'm back with you, and I just wanted to go over another point that we were making. This list that I found on this Instagram page, and he was going through some of his rules to success. The first one was focusing, and for me, that's not only knowing what you want, but actively pursuing it. And everything that you do, you need to find a way into it, whether you're gaining a new follower or a supporter or client or a partner or team member. Like constantly focusing on who you are, because you have to constantly be out loud talking about what it is that you want, because then it tells people about it. Most of the people don't know what you're doing because you haven't articulated it. You've just been doing it, and you haven't really put the time into really focusing on it and really talking about it. It's just been a project that you've been doing at that point if you're not talking about it. The next one was improving yourself, and this goes into saying you have to constantly be putting yourself in a place where you are open to learning. You're open to growing. You're open to understanding yourself and the things around you and the things in life that you want better. So getting your mind, body, and spirit together, focusing on who you are as a person and aligning yourself with your goals and with your talents and with your gifts, and always be willing to learn something new. Don't close yourself off. Before I went to break, I was speaking on individuals that constantly just go with an arrogance, like their life becomes this arrogant puzzle that they're on, and they aren't at a space where they aren't achieving anything, but they are just so negative in their pursuits that people don't want to deal with you. People don't want to deal with that. They don't want to be around you. They don't. And I've been that person sometimes because I've allowed my circumstances to be the outfit that I had on that day. Or, you know, I've allowed it to be who I am and be the face of who I am. And often people don't want to be around that because people dealing with their own stuff. So to bring your stuff on, and people aren't always equipped to really handle that. So constantly improving yourself, and it's an everyday thing. Having a conversation with someone who you wouldn't normally have a conversation with, or welcoming a meeting or opportunity that you wouldn't normally operate at. You know, not being afraid to not work for money, and that goes to the next point that he makes. Speaking of not always seeking the money in a situation, stop chasing money. I remember Troy Burton said this. I was around him and he said, you know, y'all young artists, y'all got to stop trying to get paid for something and put in the work, you know, where it goes without saying that you will get paid. Now you got to start telling people what your worth is instead of, you know, trying to show it to them, because they will always underbid you no matter how talented you are. Some of the most talented people have been ripped off, or the attempt has been made to rip them off. So your talent has nothing to do with your worth. You set your worth based on how talented you are, or how much work you put in and how prepared you are, you know. So stop chasing money, because it'll be a circle. You'll always be chasing it. You'll get it, you'll spend it, and then now I'm looking for some more. Be comfortable with anything. It's one of the things that I did not realize was a strength in mine, but I can really be in a lot of different situations and find my comfort zone. I was in a production this last month, and it wasn't the optimal production. Everything wasn't going right, but I'm good at knowing where I fit in at and how I can improve things, not just fall into the background, but making myself necessary for that situation. So always being comfortable with anything. And sometimes if you will feel uncomfortable even in your courage to try something new or try something you haven't done, or putting yourself in a situation that isn't as comfortable, because often that discomfort is a challenge and it's a test, and it really will take you to another level just to achieve it or just to try it. Often you don't always have to be successful, but just trying to get you to another thing, because often that'll help somebody see you who have not seen you before. The next one is laugh at everything. We have to stop taking things so seriously. And as black people, everything is so right now, so urgent, so serious, that we don't have time to laugh and just have fun and be happy. You know, I watched people all the time just be so just not happy. You have to choose happy. It's not just gonna come to you. It has to be a choice, because it could be standing right in front of you, like inches away from you. And if you don't choose to see it, and if you don't choose to take it, then you'll never have it. So always finding something to laugh at. It's a new hashtag that I was trying out, and it was based on live, laugh, and love. But it's live, love, and laugh at fools. And sometimes that's all you can do. You don't necessarily have to address every situation. You don't have to be angry about things. You don't have to be so, in your space about things. But just finding moments to laugh will give you so much joy and so much peace of mind. And that's really what it is. And having peace of mind gives you the energy to do things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do in other circumstances. Number 5 is, number 6, know that you can. You cannot expect for anybody to believe in you if you can't find that belief system in yourself. And it's easy to get caught up in, well, I don't have supporters, and this person doesn't believe in me, and I don't have this, and I don't have enough money for that, and my mother didn't set me up, and my father wasn't there. And it's easy to get caught up in all the things that will keep you from. All the roadblocks, all the disappointment, all the negativity, all the lacks thereof. It's easy to get caught up in that. But it's just like choosing happy. You gotta say to yourself, I can do this. And often you'll have to remind yourself more in certain situations than others. But for the most part, you got this. And if it's something you really want, if it's a need in life, keep telling yourself you can make it happen. There'll be days and weeks and months, sometimes even years, where you're struggling to get to a place. As an actor, I follow many actors, their stories, and I love watching them do like serious interviews where they're being candid and very honest about their journey. And most of them say to you, like, this was not an overnight thing. You saw me once I hit it big, or once, the flower opened up. But you ain't see all them times when I was working for little to nothing, or nothing at all, or I was getting more no's than a yes would ever come, and a yes felt like it was never going to come. But you gotta believe it, because often in you believing it, it really allows other people to see it. People not gonna always get your vision, but if you don't get it, how the hell you expect for somebody else to get it? Like, that's number one. I don't believe in you. Why would I buy a ticket? Why would I buy an album? Why would I support your business? Why would I tell other people about your business if you don't? And we often don't, because we don't believe in it, and we just expect for other people to support us because that's what we're supposed to do for each other. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. But you have to believe, we have to believe in ourselves more than anybody. You got to be your number one supporter, your biggest promoter, your number one cheerleader. You got to be all those things before you can even begin to expect for somebody else to be those things in your life. And I think a lot of us get in trouble when we expect more out of others than we do from ourselves. So that was number 6, know that you can. Number 7 is provide value. This one is often hard because we don't know what that bar is. We haven't made any decisions in creating that value within ourselves and who we are and how we are. And you have to know your value. You have to know your own personal value. And by this, providing value is normally what you're giving to others. So that goes with your cup has to be full. You have to be in a great space to give anything of yourself. Because if you're giving something and it's coming from a bad place, eventually, if not first thing, people are going to catch on to that. And they're not going to want to be around you. They're not going to want to be a part of what you're doing and your success. And I know that firsthand. I honestly know it. And it was many times where I know how talented I am. I know what I want. But I didn't believe in it. My belief had kind of waned off. And I can't expect for anybody to believe in what I'm doing. But that does not mean that people can come in and devalue you and still ride on the train. Like, that happens a lot too. People see where you're weak, but they know you're good. They'll live off the fact that you're good, but because you don't believe in it, they use that as an excuse for them to just sit on the train and not help keep it moving. Live life without fear. We all have a fear in something. So that often is like a crazy statement to live. But number 7 and number 8 kind of go. Or number 6, knowing that you can, it goes right along with number 8. Live life without fear, because often you are walking in dark places, not knowing where the next check is coming from, or not knowing where the next, client or product sale is coming from. But you got to know that you can do this, and then you have to live without fear. You may have, and often we are fearful of losing things that we don't need to win. It's often a fear of losing, whether it be a friendship or a relationship or a product or a material thing. We're afraid of losing it. So we live in fear. So instead of us following our dreams, we'll half-ass follow it, with the couple of hours we have left in a day, but we'll go work for somebody else's company because that's more security in that. There's more longevity in that. And there's less probability that we're going to lose something or someone. So always living your life without fear. Express positive energy. I would say in this list, that has been, I wouldn't say the thing that I lack the most, but I think that's been something that I needed to do, the expression part. I'm very positive. I'm a very positive person. Like, I really love everybody. I don't like everybody, but I still choose to love everybody and see the great in people and the opportunity for growth. But with that being said, I don't always enjoy everything that happens. So sometimes we may be one thing, but because we don't express it, you got to express that positivity. It's infectious. And you got to really put yourself in a space where, you're not afraid to show those things that you're feeling. If you love somebody, tell them you love them. If you like somebody, tell them you like them. If you like something, don't be afraid to show your love or your appreciation or your gratitude or who you are. That expression of love. Don't be afraid to show those things. And it really is, it's hard. A lot of these things are harder done, put into action than they are to be said. It's easy to say, express your positive energy, but express it, show it. It helps you to be more successful when people want to be in your space. And lastly, it's just have fun. Lately, I've been being old man Nate, and I've been choosing to just focus on rebuilding and regrowing. But the lack of fun can sometimes be more draining than overworking yourself. Often you can get a couple hours of sleep and jump back from from overworking. But if you're not having fun at what you're doing, it's not going to come across that way. It's really not. I'm exhausted right now in just talking to you, but I have fun, and lately I haven't been doing my show consistently, and it's really been, I feel a difference in myself. I really love doing this, and I felt like I had a well-oiled machine, and then it just broke down. I really felt like that, like it got total, and now I'm trying to live in a rental car for a second, but just having fun. So to go back through the list, rules for success: focus. 2, improve yourself, don't chase money. 4, be comfortable with anything. Be open. Just be a blank slate for every situation that you're in. Bring in with you the opportunities and the knowledge that you have, but just being open to what's new. Being comfortable with anything, laugh at everything is number 5. Number 6, know that you can. Number 7, provide value. Not just quantity, but value. We often confuse those two. Number 8, live life without fear. Jump, just jump. It may hurt. It may scar you up. It may scratch you up. But guess what? You'll be a stronger person for it. And you'll be so much wiser afterwards, because you know what taking that type of jump will mean for yourself. And so now if you do have to repeat it, or you have to take another level, you're more prepared for the bumps and bruises. So now you go in there with a better sense of protecting and not preventing. So those 10 things are things that have been on my inventory list, because even before you assess what you have and what you don't have, you should start with what you want. What is your goal in doing this? So in taking inventory, what are you going to do with this information that you have? Start asking yourself that, and you may find them answers in you taking personal inventory, mentally, spiritually, physically, in your life. But once you've actually done the work, then you're able to go right to what you want and understand, out of all these things that I've put into categories or I've itemized, what do I need for this situation? I learned a term when I was taking a food safety class. I want to get into catering and event planning, and I took this food safety class to kind of put out there, and and me taking a class, I learned the term mise en place. And it's mise en place is getting everything you need in order. So if you're going to bake a cake, get all your ingredients measured and sorted out. Get all the tools that you need. You know, preheat the oven, grease your pans, like do all the things that you need. So all you're doing it, and it takes time to get everything in order, but it takes less time to actually do it once you have everything in order. So put the time up in the front, and you'll have more time to enjoy what you're doing. And that was a great lesson for me as an event planner too, because often you see event planners running around like a chicken with the head cut off, because they haven't taken the time to prepare. They haven't put everything in order, so everything is being applied in real time. And how do you enjoy your event? How do you see what's working and who's enjoying themselves? So you're not even in the moment. You're missing the moment, you know, the lesson. So I'm going to take, oh no, we still got time in this break. So if you don't already know how to get to the page, go to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. You'll see the banner at the top of the page asking you to be our guest. So follow us on Instagram. Let your other artists, entrepreneur friends know about us. I'll be starting a separate, so I have a group page called the Artist Exchange, and it's made for you to post all your information, all your upcoming events, all your creative art-based things in. You can meet other people from around the world. You can network with other people. You can share your work with other people from around the world, and really, you know, use it as your message board every day for your artistry. I'll be starting the page specifically for business owners for the Artist Exchange. And you all have an opportunity to sponsor the show. Let us help you advertise your business with your sponsorship. But I'll be starting a separate page because I've been getting a complaint from the group Artist Exchange because I don't always approve every message. But if you have certain businesses, and I'm thinking about that business page, then having a third page to it where I just allow the media, because I'm learning even as I post, certain things don't belong in certain groups. So if media had a space, an open group for people to be able to come in and share their work and share what they do, I think that would allow people to not feel the need to post in this group so much. that's dedicated to this. The second one will be for business, and the third one will be for media. So those pages will be opening up soon. The Artist Exchange YouTube page will also be opening up. We're just going through the motions of organizing and getting things uploaded and content and such. Mama Linda Goss, she's been doing a How We Got Over storytelling series. She'll be back in December for her last 2 shows, so definitely stay tuned for that. I believe the next show will have one of the long-standing Arabers. If you don't know what an Araber is, they walk around with the horse and buggy selling fruits and produce. So stay tuned for that show. That show is, I want to say, the 10th and the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just look at this calendar real quick. So it will be, so this is December, so it'll be the 10th and the 17th will be her last show. And I can't wait. It's been an awesome run. You'll be able to find all of them both on the upcoming Artist Exchange radio show page. You'll be able to find that on our website that we're still working on, and you'll be able to find that on the Artist Exchange YouTube page, as well as the Pill Center's social media, their YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and we're working on that. I'm also, if you're on Facebook and you go through the marketplace for jobs section, you'll see I have a post up there looking for new team members. We're looking for engineers, co-hosts, people to be out in the field, bloggers. So we're trying to round out the team for 2019 so we can start our 6th year in radio. We're in our 6th year. This started our 6th year, and so we'll be in this. So we're starting in January with a bang. So definitely stay tuned, stay locked in for that information. Continue to share our stories, like us, share us, friend us, all those different things. I'm here. Again, we're looking for new team members. If you want to be a guest on the show, definitely hit us up, the Artist Exchange Radio Show. If you have not seen that post and you do want to join the team, hit me up also at the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com, or you can send us a message via Instagram or Facebook, or my personal page, Nate VashtiBlue Couser. We're all here for you. Stay tuned, stay locked in, share, and subscribe to our radio show page. You'll get a lot of updates. We have a couple of sponsors that are coming up soon with some nice giveaways, so definitely stay locked in for that. You have to be a member of either the Artist Exchange group page or the Facebook page to be in a lining, because it will only be published on those pages. We won't share that link out. So yeah, I know a lot of people are having some Christmas shows and some events coming up, so I definitely want to hear from you artists. We have a couple interviews scheduled for December, some past guests that are coming back, so look out for them. Also in January we have some special events coming up, some art shows and such, so look out for that. We'll be out in the community a lot more in 2019 with a new series of interviews, with some new programming. Blueprints, the movie project, is not off the table. It's just being structured differently and shored up with some financing. So keep looking out for that. Also, we have one more minute. I'm just gonna go through this one. If you know of any artists, if you know of any visual artists, performance artists that would like to come on and do their work live on air, we're doing some live paintings, some live performances, some live readings. We didn't work with the African American Authors and Empowerment Expo, this year. She didn't do it. She's revamping her process. I don't know if she's bringing it back next year, but we still have we're still open to producer artists coming on and doing some work with us. We're going to bring back a series that we used to do in our old space where we did some live stage readings. So I've been messaging a number of theater companies in the DMV area, some playwrights from all over, a number of the colleges and theater groups that are in the city, and we're going to be having them come on once a month to do some live readings of some plays. So definitely stay tuned for that. Stay locked in for that. What else is coming up? The Artist Exchange is definitely growing in a different way, and we're branching out into doing some PR, not necessarily management work, but more PR, event management, putting on some like listening parties, book releases, so on and so forth, art shows for artists. We really will be dedicated to helping artists grow in 2019 in a different way. Some of the things that we've done before, we're going to kind of bring them back and do them differently now that we have a different focus, and we'll have a stronger team going into the new year. So definitely stay tuned, stay locked in for all that's coming up. If you are a radio show, if you have a podcast or such, hit me up. Let's do some cross promotion with each other. I'm ready to network with more artists. I did an awesome interview with Mr. Antoine. I'm sorry, I say Antoine from radio. That's totally disrespectful. But I did an awesome interview. I have another interview coming up. So we're doing some really great things, and I'm really proud of just the artists in general. I've been meeting a lot of positive individuals that are really out to do all that they can do, and I'm really here for it all. So stay locked in. This is the last subject. We're going to end a little bit sooner today, but we'll be back Friday, same time. So tune into the Artist Exchange every Monday and Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and every So I won't announce the live shows that we'll do yet. That'll be something that I start promoting in December. But next up at 7 p.m. tonight, Just a Bit Outside radio show. Lastly, if you're looking for a space to do your radio show, if you want to revamp a show or bring back a show, or if you have an idea for a new show, Be Exposed Radio is definitely the place for you. So again, without further ado, this has been the Artist Exchange with your host, Mr. Nate Couser. I am really happy I got to do my show today, so yay! See y'all all later. It's been been great talking to you.
Kenny Black our male rights activists put together our entertainment report with Shayna, who does our social media, and make sure we get ourselves together to do this show. So y'all want to talk a little hip hop? What's going on?
Yeah, well, I want to talk about French Montana, the rapper. He's going to be on the cover of GQ Middle East.
Oh,
and
that's good.
Yeah, that's good. But